Hi everyone. Again, I'd like to thank everyone who's following my podcast, Minding Your Purpose podcast. I'd like to thank everyone who's following me on Instagram at Laquanda's Heart, everyone who's subscribed to my partner Char Thrillers YouTube channel, everyone who's following Char Thriller on Instagram, and everyone who is subscribed to my sister Crystal Renee's channel. You can find all those links in the description box. And also you can find my video on why is how to get a man big business in the description box as well. So let's get to it. So I recently did a video because first of all I want to say I'm doing sort of like a hair and chat because I wanted to film a video about this particular situation and I wanted to do a hair video, so I decided that I will do both at one time. So I am going to put my hair in an afro and I'm thinking like a little twist in the front and having it come down and then the afro around, then have the afro. But let me tell y'all, I mentioned in my last video that, and if I'm looking down, I have a mirror right here. I mentioned in my last video that I believed that life coaches, particularly it was this industry of regarding the singleness of Black women. And you know, it is a industry. You know, dating advice relationship advice is a industry. So we're not denying that. But I was talking about how these very popular life coaches tended to give women all this advice about what she should do to get a man. And we are looking at this because most of these life coaches speak from the perspective of heterosexual cisgender individuals. And so the conversations aren't inclusive. There aren't inclusive conversations. So one thing that, and if you're like, where's your moisturizer? My hair is really moisturized because I just washed it and you know it's dry, and so I'm not going to put any other moisturizer on it. And so what happened, one of these life coaches, and I'm not going to say who it is, and I'm not going to say the official title of their video, but they put a video out on reasons why married men keep, and the key word here is approaching, why married men keeps, you know, approaching, walking up to women. And I caught the first part of it, and I was so sick to my stomach that I just could not continue. So for anyone, I am doing a flat twist just across my forehead there. And it's kind of tight, so I'm just going to take my rat tail comb and loosen that up a little bit. But this is what, you know, he was doing the video about. And the first thing that he said in this video, now he did acknowledge that, you know, regardless of how good of a person you are or the type of vibes, you will most likely be approached by someone who is married or taken. But he was talking from the perspective, this is in his words, the perspective of everyone who approaches you is either single or taken. Either taken or married. And so his first thing was dealing with, because I want to say it was because you're emotionally unavailable and he went on to talk about how you come off as emotionally unavailable makes you a good candidate for a side chick. Now, I think in this instance, this conversation, or the way he was trying to phrase, or should have better phrased the conversation, is towards individuals who keep dating married or taken individuals. And so for the purpose of my video, I'm going to be inclusive. That the reason why you keep dating or getting involved and staying involved with people who are married is because you're emotionally unavailable, so they're likely to keep you around. I think maybe that was the perspective that he was trying to go for. But when you say approach, that this is why someone approaches you. First of all, when someone approaches you, you don't know if that person is taken, or if there's a stranger. You don't know if that person is taken or not. And I am adding beads here. And dropped a bead. You don't know if that person is taken or not, or in a relationship. And so it's the way that it was worded. And just so you see, I'm going to put this at the end. The way that it was worded, it made it again seem like we are going to blame the woman for the actions of the person who knows they're in a relationship. Now, yes, I know there are people who get involved with married people and on a regular, consistent basis, and they are okay with that, those actions. I'm not talking about that, because when he started this video, he was talking about specifically people who were getting approached all the time. And that's where I take issue, because the person in a relationship knows they're in a relationship, and they are approaching people knowing that they're in a relationship. Now, I gotta go get a rubber band because I need to close this off, and I didn't bring a rubber band with me, so give me a second. Sorry, I hit my head on my chimes. Okay, I'm back. So they were saying that, the reason why you were being approached is because of this. Not why you keep getting caught up in these situations, and why you keep choosing to remain in these situations, but this is why somebody's coming up to you, which leaves, oh, I don't know if I like that. Let me see. Hold on, okay, that's much better. I think I'm gonna have to break. So this looks weird, so I'm just gonna break this top part off, or unravel it. But anyway, so this coach was specifically talking about somebody approaching him. Like, we have control over who's approaching us. And again, it goes back into that whole where, these coaches make so much money, from telling women what they should do to prepare themselves to be a wife or someone to choose, instead of telling, men, this is what you need to do, men or other women or non-binary folks or someone else who's seeking a partner, this is what you need to do to prepare yourself. Like everyone needs, if you're choosing that you want to have partners and be in relationships, you know, everyone should be, you know, trying to focus on themselves and build themselves up to a point to where they are positioning themselves to be in a healthy relationship so they can have a healthy exchange if that's what you want. Ooh. Ooh. Hold up. I got some hairpins. Hold up. I think we may not get a fruit today. I got some hairpins here. Let's see what we can get, what we can do here. But you know, you have to, so let's focus on the hair. So what I'm going to do, because I liked how that looked, I'm going to twist my hair really, really tight to give me that bump. I'm not really worried about the shape of the bump because I can fix that. And I'm going to tuck my hair inside. I don't know how I'm going to tuck my hair inside and I'm going to start pinning. Yeah, and I'm going to start pinning. Because that was a nice little accident. But, so, y'all, let's get back on topic here. Because I'll be all over the place, as y'all can see. I can't, it was difficult for me. I couldn't watch the whole video because when you start blaming a group of people and you're not holding the other group accountable, like your first thing should have been, okay, if someone is taken, then, you know, they are making a decision to approach someone who may be single. Even though they have a partner or spouse who is, they may have a partner or spouse, you know, who is at home waiting for them or somewhere around the country or world waiting for them. It's that person who's approaching you who knows that they are involved. But yet we create this narrative that it's the person who gets approached that, you know, they need to do the investigative work. They need to find out if the person is lying. And people lie about stuff all the time. Now, some people, you know, do agree to be involved in, you know, particular situations. You know, and sometimes people do things, and this is a perfect example. Story time. I had met someone, was it in 2012, 2013? I'm not sure what year it was. Wonderful personality, very intelligent. We were briefly involved. They had told me we were briefly involved. Now, I'm not saying briefly. And after we had engaged in, you know, after we had sex, this person, the very next week, I'm on social media and I'm seeing this post where he's proposed to this woman. And I'm like, you had a whole person? And I didn't know anything about? Yeah, he had a whole person. I didn't know anything about them. Had been in a relationship with them for a really long time. And proposed to them the week after me and him were had what you call that, relations, is that what we're gonna call it? And I was like, the what? You know, they're just like, wow, wow. But that incident right there taught me that I would not, under any circumstances, have you know, engaged in sexual activity with someone that I didn't have an emotional connection to. That's what that taught me. A real deep emotional connection to, not, okay, you know, because, you know, I went through my hoe phase, and I tell my partner, and he was like, well, what does your hoe phase really mean? I said, well, let me tell you. You know, and so I don't, you know, I don't get involved like that, you know, anymore because of that situation. Because I'm like, that dude had a whole woman. And I actually talked to him after this had happened, and he had shared with me that he actually had a woman who he had been dating at the same time that he was dating, before he had proposed and before he had met me. There was a woman he had been dating, but he had to stop dating her because she wanted more from him. Now, in that context, what this life coach was saying, you know, somebody wanting someone who's emotionally unavailable, in that context, it would make sense because this person initially was emotionally unavailable to this guy, and then they got emotionally attached, and he didn't want any parts of it because he knew this whole time that he was going to marry this woman and be with her. And so when he told me, when I found out he was engaged, you know, he was like, you know, let me explain, you know, and that's when he told me about the young lady. And, you know, I'm like, I'm not finna be her replacement. Deuces. No. But, you know, that is something that's common. I have known several people who, you know, were with someone or getting to know someone, and then surprise, the next week they're saying, don't destroy my life, I'm getting married. Like, these are real life things that I have observed happening to other people. Or someone, you know, all in a woman's face and taking her out, and then all of a sudden, you know, starting to ghost her some. And it's because that he or she, but this is a specific, it was because he was bringing the person that he really was interested in and that he really was going to be with. You know, they were making a stronger commitment to each other. So this is what happens. They keep their feet in, you know, in other pools until that pool over there is ready. And then so they're hopping in this pool, and then they go jump in the pool that you didn't even know that they were having built. You were unaware of it. They were telling you, oh, I don't have a pool, let me come play in your pool, let me splash in your pool. And they splashing in this pool, they splashing in that pool, and they splashing in that pool. Meanwhile, they got somebody at their house building a pool that you completely unaware of. And so they don't want to come play in your pool anymore because they ready to go play in the pool that they were having built behind your back. And then that's when you see the videos and you gotta block people because, you know, you hurt because this person, you watching this person who done lied to you about, you know, who they were and what they were with, who they were and who they were with. And so, anyway, getting back on topic, I just want to say that I really thought that was some BS of, again, another man saying, well, this person, and he probably did say that the person was wrong. We all know that is wrong, unless that you believe in polygamy, and that's the decision that you all are making together. Um, and but to put out a conversation as if you're gonna blame the woman or the man for, this is why married women keep coming after you, even though you're a single man. This is why married women want you, and it's your fault. Or this is why the married or the taken, and it looks like this is why the married or the taken man keeps approaching you. It's your fault. These are the things about yourself you have to change to keep them from exercising in bad behavior. I thought it was some straight bullshit. Oh, excuse me. I can't say that. I thought it was straight BS. And I'm moving the camera down because I'm about to show y'all my hair. And I think it really just goes to the greater disconnect, the way men always tend to, and not tend to, but they realize that they have an audience and are able to tell, women that, you need to change this about yourself in order to get a man. And it's never coming from the perspective of, let me go spend my time and energy and talk to these men about them needing to step up and to protect the well-being of the women whose heart, who want to give their hearts to them. We don't hear those conversations that often. Now, there is a life coach. Well, I don't know if they identify themselves as a life coach, so let me take that back. But there is someone who talks about relationships, who does have a conversation of accountability for everyone at the table. And I'm not mentioning any names because I keep saying I do not want to be in anybody's video. And I think that is that's important to put out there, because there are some people that just wants to stay crooked. Okay, there we go. Because they're and it keep looking crooked. Y'all help me. Okay, there we go. Because there are some people, and I'm going to change my earrings out because these just aren't hitting it. There are some people who really do care about the well-being of women, and they're not trying to just get money from them. And I'm not trying to say that this person is trying to get money from them, but everybody has a calling and a population that they're meant to talk to, and meant to encourage, and meant to encourage and speak into their heart. I'm a firm believer of that. For me, it's also Black women. And it comes from different perspectives, and for me it's the perspective of mental wellness. And I understand how much a relationship can impact the mental wellness of a woman. And so to see these types of narratives being played out, or these types of narratives being spoken on, it makes me sad, because I know that there are going to be people who are going to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I'm the reason why when I was in the mall walking that this married person or taken person approached me and, you know, tried to talk to me. It's my fault in the beginning. Now, if you choose to stay in that situation, you know, that's a whole nother conversation. But in the very beginning, when that person approaches you, it is not your fault. There's nothing about yourself you need to change. That person knew, especially if it's a stranger, they knew they were taken. They knew they were in a relationship. They knew they were in a partnership. They knew that they were in a marriage. And they made the decision to approach you. And that doesn't have anything to do with you. And you don't have to change anything about yourself and what you're doing because some stupid, I'm not going to say stupid, because someone chooses to step outside of their relationship. You know, this ain't a, ooh, I'm perfect speech, but this is a, ooh, I'm not finna sit up here and blame somebody else for the decision that I made. You know, it's like, you gonna blame her or him or they, or excuse me, or them for the decision that this person, this stranger comes up to me knowing that they just put their ring in their pocket, or they kept bold enough to keep their ring on and say, hey, can I be your friend? Or hey, can I get your number, knowing that they taken? No. And even if that happens on a consistent and regular basis, it's still not your fault. It's still not your fault. You know, so that's what I have to say about that. Let me show y'all this hair. Let me show y'all this hair. And I think for some accents, I'm going to throw on some gold hoop earrings. I think I left them in my bag, so I won't be putting them on for the inside the video. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and give us a thumbs up and share this video. I'll see if I'll be back with another hair in chat. It depends on how much y'all like this one. But if not, I'll just keep the hair and the chat separate because this video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And I accidentally found the hairstyle that I really liked. All right, everyone. Until next time. Bye.